Hello besties, beautiful people, happy new month. You're welcome to December. My name is Taiwo and you're welcome back to my channel. Today, Easy Sewing with E.t.c. So today we'll be learning how to sew a front zipper fly and side pocket, slanted side pocket on pants, trousers, shorts, the easiest way. Okay, so thank you to all returning subscribers. Thank you for always coming back to watch and engage my videos. I appreciate you all, and if today is your first time of joining us, you are welcome. You will love it here. Don't forget to subscribe and put on the notification bell. So if you're interested in knowing how I made the Ankara pant you saw earlier, ensure that you put on the notification bell to be the first to know when I upload the video next week. So let's get started. So this is the front, this is the right, and this is the left. So we'll be starting off with this white. So what you want to do is to place your zipper this way. I will be starting around here, half inch above the start point of the zipper. You can see this meter half inch because I will still be using that half inch to join it to the band. So you want to consider that. So I won't be starting from here. This is wrong. I won't be doing this. But I'll be moving it down by half an inch above the metal, and that's where I'll be starting from. Then I'll get a piece like this. It is doubled. You can weave yours, but I decided to sew mine and to make it neat. So you place it this way, like this. Your zipper will be facing down this way, and this will be on it like this, and you will sew here. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Now that I am done sewing just half inch before the end of the zipper, I will make sure that I notch it this way. I notch it, not passing through what I've sewn. I've notched it this way. So I have this. So I have something like this. Here it is at the back, and here how it is. Then I'll go ahead and top stitch on this. I'll go ahead and stitch on this. So after top stitching, the next thing to do is to make sure to measure the length. So I have 7.5 here. I have 7.5 here. You want to note that measurement. Note the measurement. So on this left side now, I will take another piece, but this time I want to make sure that this is wider. Make sure that this is wider than the one that was used for the right hand side. Then I'll go ahead and sew it this way. I'll go ahead and sew it to the 7.5 mark. Make sure that what you have here is equal with what we have on the right side. So I'll go ahead and notch it on the 7.5 inches mark. Make sure not to pass through this line that has been sewn. After which I will top stitch. I will top stitch on the extra piece that was added, not on the trouser block, but on the extra piece that was added. So the next thing to do now is to place the two trouser block on each other that way, and you want to sew starting from the 7.5 inches mark, from the place where we have notched, all the way to the end of the crotch curve. So you want to make sure that you do not sew on the zipper, just push it in that way and make your sewing. So you want to sew twice and make sure that that place is properly stitched. So I will not fast track the sewing process of this stage so that you can see how I went about it. So you just want to take your time and make sure that it all match up and just sew it that way. Make sure to sew it twice. Now that the crotch curve has been sewn, we have something like this. So you need to have something like this before moving to the next stage. Next thing you want to do is to turn it this way. Now that you've joined it here, the next thing you want to do is turn it this way, and then as it is, just sew over it like this. But make sure that you do not sew it. Make sure that the sewing is not straight. Make sure that towards the tip here, you tilt it outwards so that you would have something like this. So it is thinner towards the end and it keeps getting wider towards the side. So that is how you want to place your zipper. Just go ahead and sew it that way. It does not have to be close to the teeth of the zip. You can just sew at the edge. Just go ahead and sew it that way. That's the next thing to do. So now this is what we have. You can see how beautiful it is. You can see that the zipper fly is coming out great already. So you want to check it and make sure that it is fine. You are fine with the outcome you have before proceeding to the next stage. Now the next thing to do is to sew that extra piece on the trouser. So you want to come up by 2 inches away from the end of the zipper and just sew a straight line that way, securing that piece on the trouser. So now this is what I have. I want to highlight my sewing with a chalk since I made use of a black thread. So now that is what I have. The next thing to do now is from the end that way. From the end that way, you want to draw a curved line. You want to draw a curved line that way. So making sure that it lays over each other properly like this at the back, you will flip it over and sew on that curved line. Sew on that curved line that you have chalked out. So you are only going to sew on the curved line till it joins and meets up with the straight line that was stitched earlier. You don't want to sew all the way to the upper part, please, just on the curved line. And voila, the zipper fly is ready. This is what you want to have, okay? This is what you want to have. So now right side facing each other, you want to go ahead and measure 1.5 breadthwise and 7 inches lengthwise on both the side of the trouser and on the pocket. So you want to chalk that out, draw a slanted line that way and cut it out. Now placing both sides on each other that way, sew it by 1/2 inch. So on the 7 inches mark, notch it that way and complete your sewing. Now the next thing to do is to flip it over that way. So now you can sew on both the pocket and the trouser that way, or you spread it out like this and stop stitch on only the pocket area like I will be doing now. So the next thing to do now is to fold the pocket this way on the right side first and sew over the lower part of the pocket that way, or you can give it a curve like I will be doing now and you will sew over it on the right side first. So now I'll just trim off the excesses. I'm going with the curved option. So make sure that you did not sew up to the 7 inches mark that was notched earlier. Make sure you did not sew up to it. So now the next thing to do is to turn it inside out and sew it again on the wrong side. So now that the lower part has been secured, it's time to secure the side and the upper part. So remember that we actually cut off 1.5 inches and we sewed by 1/2 inch, which makes a total of 2 inches. So you want to go ahead and measure 2 inches that way. Now that we've marked the 2 inches mark, the next thing to do is to arrange the pocket in such a way that the tip will be starting from the 2 inches mark that way, and just run a stitch over it, since you will still be adding a band, so that is fine. Once you are done running a stitch over it that way, you want to run a stitch at the side too, and voila, the pocket is ready. So now here's the pocket, it is ready. So this is another method of fixing the side pocket. I use the same method to fix the zipper fly also. So you can see that it's a bit different from the one we fixed on the Ankara. So this method is better. It's mostly used. I mostly use it when I want to make use of pocketing. When I want to make use of pocketing, that is a white fabric. That is when the fabric that I want to use is not enough for the pockets. So when I want to make use of pocketing, I'll just use this method. Thereby, I'll be adding just. Imagine this is the pocketing. I'll just be adding like 2 inches wide of the fabric on the pocketing this way, so that I will make sure that the fabric is what is showing on this part, and when the trouser is like this, the fabric is what is showing here too. But let me just show you how to go about that, though I'm not using the pocketing today. Wrong side facing wrong side, wrong side facing the wrong side. So just like earlier, I'll go ahead and mark out 2 inch and 7 this way. On this 7 inches mark now, I will give it a notch, like 1/2 inch notch like that. Then I'll go ahead and fold it this way, and I will sew it. Now that we are done sewing it that way, the next thing to do now is to spread it out this way and just fold over the edge that way and sew it onto the pocket. The next thing to do now is to secure the lower part of the pocket and the upper part of the pocket. So the process is the same as what we did with the Ankara. And voila, the pocket is ready. And that will be all for today. Thank you so much for staying to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it detailed and helpful. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment for me, okay? Share this video, subscribe if you are yet to. You can also connect with me on my Instagram page. Thank you all. See you in my next video.